Thank you guys for tuning into another video. My name is Chef Lance, and I have to say hello to all of my Dejafoodies. Hello. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, I ask that you please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to see when new videos are loaded to the channel and to make sure that you're not missing out on this great content. Really quick before we jump into today's video, if you have not watched episode 1 of The Chef Has Bought a House, I want you to go and watch that episode so you can kind of get caught up as to where we are. We have selected a home. Real quick, I'm going to do some housekeeping because I did ask you all to vote on which home you thought that I would purchase. Now, I did post on my Facebook page, and I see that some of my followers actually are friends of mine on Facebook. So this wasn't about getting the actual answer right. This was about participation. If you commented and voted a home, these following subscribers are going to be entered into a $25 Cash App giveaway.
So excited!
So congratulations to all of the entries for the $25 Cash App giveaway, and that video will be posted after episode 3. So make sure you are tuned in. If you guessed house number 3, then guess what? You are absolutely correct. I selected the ranch style home that was located south of Atlanta. When I walked into this home, I instantly fell in love with the foyer, but I fell in love with the absolute potential with opening up this space so that is one large area. I was very concerned about making sure that I had a blank palette that allowed me the room to totally be creative in its space. Overall, structurally, the house was entirely sound. There were very few things that we had issues with the inspection, and I'm going to cover that in another video, some of which the seller was very happy to help out with, and then others I went into the purchase understanding that I would need to complete. I also was very concerned about making sure, being a chef, I could create the environment for me cooking and making cooking videos. So I felt like this kitchen definitely accommodated that. So needless to say, I was very happy with the square footage in the home. And when it came to the lot that the house actually sat on, I was extremely happy because I just saw so much opportunity outside of the landscaping needs because the house has been vacant for so long. But just cleaning up the area in the back and seeing all of the potential that could be unfolded from this property really made me excited. This video I recorded a couple days after I closed and got the keys. So let's just take a walk in the back area while enjoying this beautiful morning sun. The area that I'm currently standing in is the back of my home from the actual end of my landline. So you can see roughly about how much yard space there is in the back. There are a lot of trees that I would definitely need to get cleaned out and actually moved. But this was just, I don't know, guys, so liberating to me because less than a year to this date, I had just signed a lease to a 2-bedroom apartment, and to think that God had something so much bigger in store, I'm telling you, I would have never imagined it. But anyway, I definitely felt like the backyard would allow me to fall back in love with things that I grew up doing, like farming and raising a couple of animals as well. So I'm very excited about this entire layout. But the extra bonus, you guys, and I didn't talk about this in the home description, was the fact that I actually had this barn shed area. This area had already been wired for electricity and already had plumbing out to it. So when you talk about your purpose for purchasing and where you see the property going, I thought about this in the aspect of this can always be reconditioned to be a tiny home, which in several ways could add value to this property. And things like that you want to consider when making your purchase an investment.
Message.
So this is what we've been waiting for. Let's go ahead and get into the remodel of it all. Definitely feel that all starts with a vision or an inspiration for what you want your space to actually be. A modern being early to mid 20th century design is exactly what I'm going for. Also wanted to keep the ranch attributes of the home intact. A lot of beiges and browns making the home warm. And while reviewing design ideas, I realized how much I had fell in love with a drenched concept. Warm and inviting, yet very chic and modern.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
All right, so let's talk about wall color. The wall color I decided to go with is Practical Tan by Behr. Tan is a pale version of brown, giving you an entire palette of earth tones to work with. And since we're talking about saving money, the best way to save money in the painting process is to, guess what? Do it yourself.
Okay.
When it comes to flooring, the primary flooring on the house is going to be a vinyl plank flooring. Because of vinyl plank flooring was the option, again, you can save so much money by installing your flooring yourself. I'm going to be looking for flooring which will basically float throughout the entire home, and then some accents of tile. When you're looking for flooring, you do want to go to like the big box companies like Home Depot. You want to check out Lowe's, and you also want to check out places like Floor and Decor and all of your local flooring stores as well. If you're covering small spaces, don't even rule out places like your local rehab or habitat stores for great discounts. And when you go into these establishments, there is one universal sign we all understand, and that's the clearance sign.
You got it, dude.
So I just wanted to show you guys some of the options as far as flooring. This flooring is sold by the square foot. Basically, if you know the amount of square footage that you're going to cover, you're just going to multiply the amount that they show you as the price per square feet to kind of get what your total price would be. As you can see, a lot of these range anywhere from like $199 per square foot up into the high 2s, low 3s as far as the amount per square foot. The entire reason that I tell you guys you have to look around is because even though I thought I had found what I was looking for, I stumbled into Home Depot and found the flooring that I'm actually going to use, and guess what? 99 cents per square foot. You see it right. I also looked around for tile as well and ended up finding my tile at Floor and Decor on clearance as well. But my point is, you guys, you definitely want to shop around and make sure that you are finding the best value for your money. And above all else, I'm going to cite my sources, but you want to do as much installation as you possibly can, because contractors are out here to make their money, and I'm not even mad at them because that's their profession. But this is the color combo that I am going to use for literally 80% of the house so that everything flows cohesively. So keep in mind, guys, I knew that I was going to get the floors in the house done, as well as I was going to refresh the paint. So these were things I planned for in my budget before I actually purchased this home. This is just them loading the floors. So now it's time to go back to the house to get my hands dirty, because it's now time to start the renovations on my new home. So just so you guys have a point of reference, I am going to work on the north side of the house first, which includes this first bedroom, or I should say former bedroom, because this is actually going to be an office media room. But it's going to start with this actual bedroom, going to flow into the hall and include the bathroom, and then also my rear room, which will actually be my guest room. So that's the area we're going to be focusing on for the next couple of videos. So today is going to be the first day that I'm going to do some type of renovation to the new home. We're going to start with the 2 bedrooms and this hallway right here. These bedrooms currently have carpet in them. It's like this salmon color, and I kind of want all of the floors in the entire home to match. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually rip this carpet up today, because I want to see what's actually underneath this carpet so we can start the process of painting these rooms and getting the floors done. So hang out with me today while we go ahead and get this carpet up and discover what's underneath. Now, I know that I promised you guys that I would cite my sources, and in every effort I plan to do so. But the pulling up of this carpet really wasn't anything for me to cite to you guys. You will need a carpet raiser, and that's what I'm actually putting together in this video. Now, I'm trying my best to maintain a level of professionalism, because I would have pulled out a knife or just a razor blade and just pulled the carpet up. But this is probably the tool that will be most safe for you to actually pull your carpet up. So all I'm doing here is assembling the carpet raiser. Now, in my mind, when I was pulling up this carpet, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really watch a video, because in my mind, I'm like, hey, it's a no-brainer, right? And I was also thinking that perhaps I can use the padding that's underneath the carpet for my flooring. But that's something I learned. So just in case you all did not know that, you cannot use the same padding for carpet that you use for the luxury vinyl planks. You definitely need to use the padding that actually goes with the luxury vinyl flooring. And the same thing kind of applies for painting. There really isn't a source to cite for painting. I think when it comes to painting like walls in houses, I think that people get a little bit intimidated, but you want to see sheer intimidation, call a contractor and ask them how much it is to paint a room in your home. I promise you, you will get over that anxiety very quickly and learn what you need to paint. So right here, I was just happy of my accomplishments of getting the carpet up and keeping that padding down, thinking I could use it. And then I watched the video for the installation for the flooring and realized, nope, that needs to come up too. So here is what the area actually looked like once all of the carpet and the padding is up. I had a chance to evaluate the floors and just make sure that all of the floorboards were good, strong, intact, no damage, no moisture, and was clear on that part. And so now it's time for me to actually start painting. Now, painter's plastic is something else you'll need if you care about your floors. Being that I have just pulled up this carpet, it was my decision to understand that painting now made the most sense, because I have not laid the floors yet. I'm sure that's going to make sense to you as well. Outside of the painter's plastic, let's talk about some of the other supplies you'll need to paint efficiently. And the first thing is going to be an edger. You are going to need an edger if you care about keeping the integrity of your ceilings. In these rooms, the ceilings will remain white, and the baseboard, as well as the frames around the windows and doors, will keep that white. So it made sense to make sure that I have an edger, so it eliminates how much cleanup I'll need to do with the white paint. You are also going to need some type of brush. I primarily use a roller when I'm painting. However, a roller cannot maneuver and get into cracks and crevices. So you want to make sure that you have not only your primary painting tool, which for me is going to be a rolling brush, but you are also going to need some type of other standard style brush so that you're able to get those corners in those hard places. Another tool you will need is painter's tape. Painter's tape will also help you from making sure that your paint is not going anywhere you do not want the paint to go. Very simple concept. It does not take a rocket scientist. Then finally, you will need a ladder. Do not attempt what I'm doing at home. I am literally stepping on a fold-up chair. Listen, when I am in go mode, I am going to pull whatever is the closest to me that can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. You should not be standing on chairs. You should definitely have a ladder for safety to make sure that you are in the safest position when you are painting in your home. you guys have made it this far in the video, you are truly an MVP. So with that being said, if you would do me a favor and make sure that you have hit that like button on this video. And if you know someone that is looking to spruce up their home, go ahead and share this video with someone so that they can actually come along with this journey of turning this house into a home. And here is the finished product of 2 coats of paint in this room. I am actually in love with this color, and I can already see that everything is going to come together just so beautifully. Guys, let's talk about flooring. So the process for laying these floors is so simple. I just cannot fathom why people pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to have these floors installed. Now, the single video that was the most beneficial for me came from Home Reno Vision DIY's channel, and it's how to install vinyl plank flooring like a pro. I promise you, this video is all you need to have you prepared to lay this flooring down. Once you actually get finished, you could probably print you some business cards and actually lay down some flooring for some other people and make you a profit off of it as well. I promise you, it is just that easy. Now, although this video will not instruct you how to install your flooring, I think that through my experience, I can give you a couple of pointers of how you can make your installation a seamless process. So let's get started with the tools that you definitely will need to install this flooring. Now, of course, you are going to need the padding for your flooring as well as the flooring itself, but you are going to also need your steel pull bar. You'll need a double-faced rubber mallet. You're definitely going to need your spacers. And last but not least, you will need your tapping block. Those are the non-negotiables. You are going to need all of those tools. You can usually buy them in a set at Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, the flooring itself is set up on a tongue and groove system. It actually gives maximum security to make sure no moisture or no water can get underneath the flooring. Now, you will be doing some cutting for your edges and especially rows that do not accommodate a full board. They are going to tell you in most tutorial videos you can just use a straight edge razor to cut that, or a razor to cut that. I actually used my rotary saw. It just was easier for me to use the saw. What I can say is in the video, he does make it look extremely easy to do solo. My biggest, I would guess, tip would be if possible to have a second set of hands with you. And I'm going to tell you why. So when I'm putting in the boards here, I think I kind of blocked it out in this view. It helps when you are knocking the board down into the board that you just laid to lift that board just slightly so that the tongue can fall underneath it without being damaged while you are pulling it to the side to join that board. And I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but I did a couple in this video just so you can kind of see how when I'm actually moving the board down, like right here, this is the point where you want to have those second set of hands to kind of lift the previous board just so the tongue can fall under the groove. Because doing it solo, I found that I was damaging a lot of them. So when it was time to actually secure it with the rubber mallet, last step that you just saw, my board would be damaged. So having that second set of hands to slightly lift that as you pound it into connect, I think it makes the process a little bit more seamless. At least for me it did. You may be able to accomplish it on your own, but the ultimate goal and what I want you to know is that installing this flooring is super simple, you guys. There is no need to pay those thousands of dollars. You can spend that money somewhere else in your home. Now, I want you to take a good look at the hall, because before going into the hall, I realized that I wanted to do something different on the ceiling of the hall, which required me to remove the popcorn or the plaster ceiling. You guys, this is something I will probably never, ever do again. If you're looking for a great video, I actually attached the video to mine. This was the video that was the most beneficial in citing my sources. No more popcorn, the secret to removing popcorn ceiling. It's on Hackman's channel. However, it's a very simple process. You're just applying water to the ceiling. You don't want to totally drench your ceiling, but you want to mist the water, so a spray bottle would be needed. And then you would just need like a putty knife or a tape knife. And you want to just scrape the popcorn or the plaster off of the ceiling. You guys, this video made this process look so easy. This small portion of my ceiling literally almost took me out of here. I knew that doing this, I was going to appreciate the overall look of what I was going for on the ceilings, but I also knew that I had no plans whatsoever to do this anywhere else in my home. Guys, I'm about to get the rest of the painting done in the hall and in the office, as well as go ahead and get the floors laid down in the hall and the office as well. And I'm going to catch you guys next week. Listen, I really want to say I appreciate you watching the video all the way through. If you are not subscribed to the channel, listen, it is free. Can you please subscribe? I'm on a campaign. I'm on a campaign for subscribers. So if you would subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so that you can see when new videos are loaded. Make sure that you're checking the community wall and the reels as well, because I am going to be posting there also. Until next time, you guys have a delicious day.